Dipper and Mabel versus the Future is the 17th episode of Gravity Falls second season, 37 overall, and the last episode before the three-part finale. In it, Mabel's excited that their birthday's coming up, but then she gets hit in the face with reality. Meanwhile, Dipper and Ford try to repair the rift before it causes a weird Mageddon. Shenanigans ensue. On Mabel's very 2010s calendar, it's revealed that the twins' birthday is August 31st, making them Virgos. Yeah, I can see it. And I forgot to mention this in Blendon's game, but Zeus's birthday of July 13th makes him Carkalicious. I'm so cringe. Stan forbids a party to be held at the Mystery Shack, and directly references the zombies from Scarioki. Mabel goes to get permission to have the party in the high school's gym. She sees Wendy there, and it turns out to be high school open day. Mabel's excited about high school, but Wendy hits her with reality.
High school is the worst. Classes get super hard, your body just flat out turns against you, and worst of all, everybody hates you.
Can't do it! Can't do another year!
My hormones are like a sweaty cage!
Yeah, that kind of is how it was. And they're only just going into sophomore year. They have 3 more school years to deal with. And then most of them have to deal with it again if they're going to college, but this time they have to pay.
Why aren't they singing about following their dreams? TV taught me that high school is like some sort of musical.
Shut up, Disney.
TV lied, man. If you could avoid growing up, do it. I'd give anything to be 12 again.
Wendy Corduroy?
Yeah, relatable. Apparently no one knows how to pronounce Brady Hickman. I've been called literally everything else. And I might be misremembering because I'm 5 years out of high school, but by sophomore year, I don't remember any teacher calling out our names to get our schedules. We had to just kind of find them in a big pile. He definitely did that in junior and senior year. Meanwhile, Dipper's with Ford, and it turns out the suspicious-shaped cliff Gravity Falls sits next to is indeed created by aliens after they crash in this site. It's inevitable that a show like this would have eventually talked about aliens, but I like that they leave it open-ended enough that Ford doesn't know if the aliens caused all the weird mysteries of the city or the aliens were attracted by them. It also turns out that he got the portal parts by scavenging the spaceship, and this is our payoff to Ford having a UFO keychain first seen in Dungeons, Dungeons, and More Dungeons. He also has a magnet gun. They go into the UFO looking for alien glue, which Ford wrote about in Journal 2, and they need it because there's a crack in the glass of the dimensional rift. Back with Mabel, she goes to what I assume is Grenda's house. Mabel tries to invite Grenda and Candy to her birthday, but they won't be around by then, because Grenda is still with Marius from Northwest Manor, and they're going to be visiting. And Candy's apparently going to band camp, even though it's the last day of summer. I guess she goes to band camp instead of public school then? This is also our first time we've seen Grenda's pet iguana since Double Dip. While exploring the UFO, we see a skeleton of one of the crew. It's never been stated anywhere, but given that the shapeshifter was hatched from an egg, I'm willing to at least kind of say that the shapeshifter might be an alien. Dipper pushes a button and accidentally steals the old-timey settler guy's farm, which we actually saw in the wide shot of the UFO. We also see behind the barn is a factory owned by Northwest, which is weird because we didn't see the factory in the wide shot. When Ford asks what Dipper wants to do with his future, he says he wants to get a photography and media production minor and start his own ghost hunting show. Ghost hunting shows were really popular in the early 2010s. Should also be noted, if those are what he wants the degrees for, they're worth less than the ink they're printed with. Because in 2023, anybody can just make a YouTube channel with their phone and do exactly the same thing Dipper wants to do here. Dipper wants to kind of fast forward through his childhood, and Ford says, why wait? He has 12 degrees. He needs someone to continue the journals. We also see the part where Dipper wrote Leaf Blower into the gnome page from Tourist Trap. This is an excellent scene that's basically Dipper finally getting what he's always wanted, a chance to explore the paranormal with the author. But then he gets hit in the face with reality because this means he would have to leave Mabel behind. But let's put a pin in that because the alien security system is activated. Ford gets captured and he tosses the rift to Dipper. The pod's going to shoot forward to this part of the Big Dipper constellation, Megrez, which is home to Space Prison. Dipper chases after the CGI pod, a really fun sequence storyboarded by Dan Terrace, and apparently inspired by Flight of the Navigator. Dipper loses his hat. They fly over the city. We see Tyler Q. Biker in his mayor outfit. Pacifica's family, she's pissed about something. Probably because there was a deleted scene in the episode where Stan actually got his old man ponytail. Pacifica made fun of him by saying that she had one when she was 5, and Stan thought this was her inviting him to a party. The pod crashes through the water tower with Robbie's muffin explosion on it. I just kind of now noticed that it's made out of wood, which is kind of weird for a modern city. We actually see Dipper's birthmark. A security pod catches up to them, and Dipper is able to activate Confident Dipper mode without Pacifica around, and stand up to the security drone, which can only see fear and shuts down, which Ford congratulates him on. Meanwhile, Mabel's not having the greatest of times, looking over her scrapbook, in which we see a photo from Legends of the Gobblewalker, and her with the teens. Mabel's upset that summer's coming to an end and everything's kind of going the wrong way. Stan tries cheering her up and says, "Hey, at least you have your twin." The scene is storyboarded by Dan Terrace, and it's one of the saddest scenes in the show, which also given by the fact that we're near the end of the show makes you really feel for Mabel that the adventures are coming to an end. Originally, Mabel was supposed to wave goodbye to Stan after he leaves the scene, just for her to get a call from her parents to say that she can bring Waddles back home, which is another heartbreak to her as the audience learns that Dipper and Mabel are from Piedmont, California. But at least she still has Dipper, just as she overhears on the walkie-talkie him accept Ford. She confronts him, and this is one of the absolute saddest scenes in the entire show. Mabel feels like she's losing everything. Her friends, her pet pig, and even her brother. Mabel even starts crying in this scene.
Work.
I don't want it to work. I just wish summer could last forever.
But it can't, Mabel. Look, things aren't gonna stay frozen this way.
It's doubly sad because it feels like the show's talking to the audience because the show's nearly over.
It's part of growing up. Things change. Summer ends.
Mabel runs off into the forest, accidentally grabbing Dipper's bag, and curls up into her sweater much like she did in the Hand That Rocks to Mabel. Just for Blendon to come across her, who we haven't seen since Blending Game. The suit becomes a building, and Bud Gleeful's car shop. Blendon says that he can give her all she wants by creating a time bubble. All he needs is a dimensional rift. Meanwhile, Dipper is feeling bad about Mabel, and realizes that she took his backpack which had the rift in it. For at least one more day of summer, Mabel gives the rift to Blendon, which he drops and smashes. Because plot twist, yeah, it was Bill. Yeah, a little obvious. A certain subsect of the fandom really hate Mabel for this and blame her for causing Weirdmageddon, but that's really dumb, because she's a 12-year-old girl who's having literally the worst day of her life, because 1, she's going back home and she can't bring her pet pig, that means more to her than anything. 2, she finds out that high school and life sucks. 3, that her best friends aren't going to be around for her birthday. And 4, her best friend and brother, the person that's been with her forever and they do everything together, is not coming back home with her. Mabel feels betrayed and abandoned by everything. So of course she takes the opportunity that she thinks that she can continue the life that she enjoys. She didn't know about the rift, so of course she gave it to Blendon thinking that she can get a time bubble, not knowing that it was Bill. She's completely innocent on this.
The gate between worlds has opened. The event 1 billion years prophesied has come to pass. The day has come. The world is finally mine.
So yeah, Bill has a physical body and opens a portal to hell.
We're too late. It's the end of the world.
Mabel outfit check. She has her big sleeping shirt. Her sweater of the episode is a birthday cake, but she draws herself the shooting star on the invitation. Our key is Blue Book, referencing Operation Blue Book, which was the U.S. Air Force's investigation into UFOs. Our code is Did You Miss Me? Referencing Bill. Our page is The prophecy seemed far away, but finally we reached the day. Give up the past, embrace the strange, everything you care about will change. This is one of the best episodes of the series. I love seeing Confident Dipper and him struggling with, well, he's getting exactly what he's always wanted to do, but he never thought about it hard enough to realize that Mabel won't be along with him. I love seeing the emotion in the episode. Jason Ritter and Kristen Shaw do a fantastic job in this episode. You really do feel for Mabel, and even I'll admit I get a little teary-eyed about it. Both of them are so hyped about the future, but then when the future is right around the corner, they realize that might not be the best. I really don't understand the hate for Mabel in this episode, because anyone else in her situation would have done the same. And of course, it's a great setup for the rest of the finale. Overall, 10 out of 10. Stay tuned for the end of summer.
But I don't want to say goodbye to Gravity Falls.
Stop breaking America's heart, Kristen Shaw.
Does America still have a heart to be broken?